There they are, guys. Still up there. Still hanging in. It's been over a week. There's about 3-4 pounds of bees up there. I see some scout bees keep coming, flying in and out of these boxes, but nothing's happened yet. We got a Cat 4 coming. Hurricane coming. It's coming around. It's going to be slamming me probably Monday or Tuesday. Today is Friday. So, yeah, we got that little surprise coming. I had one in 05. I think it was 05. And it started peeling shingles off of this thing. And luckily, I had a bunch of plastic totes. So it's peeling shingles off of there, and then here comes the tar paper kept flying off of there, and then here comes the raining on my parade in this house. So what I did, I went up in there and took this plastic totes, and I was crawling around like a monkey up in there. This is a single-story house, but it was built as another, could be a possible upstairs, but there's nothing up there. It's actually a box. It's about a 12-foot, probably square on the east side, that could be made into a room. But you would need a spiral staircase or something to go on up at it, or an exterior stairwell, whatever. That never happened. I don't do anything, not going to do anything with it. But what I did, and what you guys could do, I did this all by myself. I took 6 concrete blocks, and I laid 3 of them over here along, scattered them out on both ends of this house. And I got my fishing rod, put a weight on the end of it, and fired a fishing line over, casted it over. Then on that boat right there, in the barn here, I've got 2,000 feet of main line. It's mule tape. It's the same stuff that the boys use to drag conduit, wires through conduit. They shoot a rabbit through with a string, and then they tie the mule tape to the rabbit, and they pull the rabbit through with the main line. So anyway, I've got that. I use it on this. So I took my reel, set it on that end of the house. After I fired my line over the house with the lead on it, hooked the mule tape to it and pulled it back over and let it hang to the ground on both ends. And it was blowing like crazy. I did this in a wind. It was crazy. So I took a big tarp. I happened to have a tarp, cheap poly tarp, and I took and tied that tarp. I got 3 lines shot over. Then I took my tarp and tied the mule tape to the tarp and went over and started slowly pulling it over the house. Didn't get on the roof at all. Pulled it right up over top and had to go back and forth. And I did it with a wind too. It almost got away from me once, but I got lucky. Got all 3 lines on the tarp and started pulling the tarp over. And then when I got close, I cinched it off concrete blocks so I could pull them up on the thing. And I actually pulled the blocks completely off the ground, about 3 feet off the ground. They were just hanging like a pendulum off of that tarp, and that gave me plenty of strength on that tarp. And I pulled it over, and I did the same on this end at the 3 blocks. And that little trick right there saved my hiney from this place getting flooded and destroyed, because I didn't get a roof on this place for about 2 weeks after. That tarp sat up there for 2 weeks. And I think it was a $600 deductible, so I got at the time, I think it was a over $6,000 roof. Now you'd have at least $10,000 in this roof. So, but this roof was good, new in 05. And so anyway, hopefully I'll fare it good. Who knows? Cat 4. We really don't know what it's going to do. It could come up. It's coming up straight from it's coming straight at us. It's going to hit the East Coast, and then it's going to, we're hoping, turn and go up. I'm on the West Coast. I'm only 5 miles from the Gulf of Mexico, that away. So we'll see. Hopefully it will if it comes over. If it shoots around Miami and shoots into the Gulf, it's going to come up and pound me on the right side. On the right side of it's the bad side. So that won't be good. So I've got the fingers crossed. Hopefully it'll come in, just penetrate the state and shoot up, or maybe it will get real lucky before it even hits the East Coast and go skirt along and go on up. But we're going to see. These girls better get their butt out of that tree. You got Cat 4 coming, girls. You better wake up and smell the coffee. Oh well, I've got another thing here. Let's get into this hive here. Actually, I went around and did the patties. I put patties on all this stuff the other day. And I had once patties that it was a big patty. I think it was that colony over there, and the maggots were getting in, the hive beetle maggots were getting into it. I seen about 8 maggots swimming through that stuff. So I took the patty out. Instead of throwing it away, I put it back on in my pan, and I put it in the freezer. And then the stronger hive here, I put it in here. So we'll go in here. The experiment is to see, because once those maggots get into, they make that stuff rancid. And if it gets too bad, they'll slime the whole hive out. The whole hive will abscond. They don't like it. These are very clean insects. They can't stand any stuff like that. So they will just leave the hive. If you get too many, if you get an overrun of those beetle larvae, they will call what's called slime in your hive. Not good at all. And so there's a little colony over here. Actually this is a dead colony. And look at the scout bees here. Yeah, they're flying all around this thing, checking it out. Hopefully they'll go in this box. I don't even know what's in that box for frames. I'll have to take a peek in there and see what's in that thing. But I'm going to suit up here. I'll get my veil on, and we'll go around here and check these patties to see if they cleaned them up. I'm curious to see if they're too nasty and the bees don't want to eat them. But by me freezing those larvae, they may just got right back in there and grabbed those frozen larvae and threw them out of there. We'll see. Be back in a minute. Hey guys, I wanted to show you something here. Had a hat the other day. This veil setup that I use here, showed you this before. But I normally just tie a bow here, right? But this line they give you with this tully veil, this Daydant tully veil, it's a very good line, and it's real slick. And when you cut this thing, make sure you burn the tips, because it'll unravel on you. But what I did, I had an old fishing hat, and with a fishing hat, you've got these adjuster things that holds the this thing worked. I saw that and I said, you know, I'm always having to stop, like that one video I was doing the boxing up the bees out of that log. I noticed when I was editing the video, I was sitting there, I don't know, 3 or 4 times I had to stop and redo my bow, right? So you get a lot of these, you find these hats real cheap, dollar store, whatever, and they've got these little things on them. So what I do when I come around here, you know, I put it through my belt loop here, down here. It comes off my back. And I come around to the front, put it through my belt loop. So what you can do is just take both the lines, like so. Open that hole up. Like I said, make sure that you burn the ends and wet your fingers, and then close it off. Now you can just pull this puppy down. Just pull it down tight the way you like it. Pull this thing up. That's it. Take your extra twine, shove it in your pocket. Done deal. All right. Are they working this stuff at all today? Very little. All right, I've got my patties here. I make them up like this, and then I put them. It doesn't take it all. Even in the freezer, I keep them in the freezer, chest freezer in the house, and it don't take for a second for them to thaw out. Let's get into this colony here and see what they did to those patties that that had the maggots in them. That's all that's left. That's all that's left. They cleaned it right up. All right, let's give them another one. This queen lays good. This queen lays good, but these bees are a tad on the testy side. I may not breed from her in the spring. They'll probably get more aggressive as this colony fattens up. They've got 2 frames here they can fill out and 2 over here. The bottom's pretty well getting filled out. I'm going to go through all these colonies here and give them more patties if they're low, and be looking for those larvas. After the storm comes through, I'm going to go ahead and shoot them again with oxalic acid vapor. Let's play peekaboo in this hive right here. These scouts are coming in here. There's quite a few bees in here. They look like they're in there cleaning things up. I'll leave them alone. I don't want to discourage them from doing anything. As far as these hives go, I've got quite a few straps. I may come around and strap these colonies to the rails, you know, for maybe a little extra. It'd probably be for, I've had all these colonies back here go through a 65-mile-an-hour wind. So just the way they are with a brick on these buckets. 65-mile-an-hour blast in here, but I've got a canopy of oaks here. I've got a big cypress swamp to my west. I've got a hedgerow over there, tall hedgerow that blocks it. I got a barn there blocking wind, so it's kind of, you know, it's kind of tucked in here where they're not getting straight line winds, so it's getting busted up. So I think that's a good thing. All right, guys, I won't bore you to death going through these colonies, playing patty cake here. Everything that needs patties, I'll put another one on them. So, hey, be happy. And say a little prayer for old Steve-O on the storm. Keep your fingers crossed. Yeah. She's getting dark over there now. Getting black. It's coming. The bees aren't real happy either. Working bees in this kind of action here is not good, but it is what it is. I'll see you on the next one. If crap is starting to hit the fan here, I may do a crap hit the fan video for you. How's that? All right, guys, be happy. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. Looking bad, guys. It's looking real ugly. It's looking as ugly as Chuck and Nancy with a little Whoopi Goldberg on the backside. God help us. See you later. Be happy. Bye-bye.